I'm here to talk about maximum plant strength. What I'm looking at when I'm looking at maximum plant strength is we're looking at the amount of minerals that that plant is capable of delivering. When we look at the Dr. James Duke database, it's a USDA.gov database, they will look at each plant and tell you how much minerals that plant is capable of delivering. I had an opportunity to talk to Dr. James Duke, and I asked him what was the source of the soil that these plants were grown in, because plants cannot make minerals, they have to come from the soil. And he told me, he said, wherever the plants grew. Meaning that when we're seeing that range in that USDA database, we're only seeing the levels that those plants were exposed to. So what if we expose these plants to a higher nutrient level? What if we turn on a switch on these plants to see a maximum loading capacity? The maximum loading capacity that we're seeing are the same maximum loading capacities that you can obtain through these soil amendments. Our soil amendments are designed to bring minerals back to the plants for human health and human consumption of those plants, not designed for the plant uptake. Most of your NPKs are just designed for plant health. Our mineral packages are designed to give you the healing effects that God designed these plants to have. When we look at the dust of the earth, that's full of minerals. These minerals, when they come up through the plant, are the perfect size for our bodies to make DNA and amino acids out of. When you're taking a mineral supplement, our bodies don't recognize most of them as foods, and the ability for our bodies to break down that mineral compound and chemical compound that they're bonded to a level to make amino acids and DNA is a challenge for any formulator of any supplement. When we look at the chemical activities that were identified in the Dr. James Duke database, we see that these minerals have many different levels of activities. Zinc, for one, might have 100 different chemical activities, meaning that a symptom of a deficiency could come across as diabetes or acne. All of them are zinc deficiencies of some sort. I challenge you to do a Google search on any symptom that you have. And just do the Google search in the format of mineral deficiencies associated with whatever condition, diabetes, acne, MS, Crohn's disease. All of these symptoms have a mineral deficiencies associated with it. There are 23 different minerals that the Dr. James Duke database has identified as having chemical activities that with those chemical activities, they're all associated with different conditions. They've identified almost a little bit over 200 different conditions, everything from anti-cancer to anti-depression, anti-aging, tremendous amount of data associated with that database. We're only looking at the minerals. If you go back to the database and look at specific compounds that the plants make, you'll find an endless amount of opportunity to use plants along with minerals to achieve a greater health quality, the quality of life that I believe God created these plants to give you. Soil Solutions, which is manufactured by Western Environmental Services, manufactures 6 different garden conditioners at this time, all designed to bring these minerals back into the plant through the soil. We also have a garden soil which is manufactured from aged compost from the Thaler Evans Ranch in LaGrange, Wyoming, where they intentionally put higher levels of minerals into their feeding operation during their conception and calving operation. We take that compost, we age it for 2 years, and just like mineral supplements that we take, most of those minerals are passing through the cattle, but they're bioavailable once the cattle have consumed it It's went into the manure. Once the microbes in the manure and through the composting have broke it down, we're seeing them at high levels of bioavailability. We also have Naturally Noble, which is our food product line. We have different wheatgrasses, powdered greens, radish, and oat grasses, all designed to deliver these minerals in the proper form for our bodies to make amino acids and DNA out of. When we talk about maximum plant strength, you can achieve these same numbers that we're seeing in our foods because all of our foods are tested the same way. Our soils all come from the base product. All of our minerals that we're adding to our soil conditioners are all hand weighed at this time to ensure that we have consistency, and you'll have the same consistency. This is Dr. James Duke, the gentleman that did this great database. You'll find links to this database on Naturally Noble at Facebook. Give us a like there and look at some of our work. When we look at the loading capacity of plants, when we're saying it's 100% loading capacity, those are numbers that we've achieved through our certified lab testing. When we take our maximum loading capacity and we compare it to references in this book of trace elements in soils and plants, we can compare our dried weight analysis to their dried weight analysis that are on standard foodstuffs around the world. Right here we're looking at lettuce, and we can see that when you're buying lettuce in the market, based upon the average, you're only at 0% of the boron ability that plant's capable of delivering. Meaning that plant, that what God designed it designed it to deliver at what we see as a maximum amount of boron, and I have the numbers here and you'll see them at the end of this video. The maximum amount of boron that we're able to achieve so far is 431,000 parts per billion. The average boron levels in our lettuce that we're seeing in the market are 1,300 parts per billion, meaning that we're less than 1% of that value. That boron number came from our Memory Formula Garden conditioner. We have boron in other products. That one is intentionally higher levels because boron is so critical for brain activity. Cobalt. Cobalt in our foods that we're buying at the market on an average are only 3% of the maximum loading capacity of the plant. Cobalt's critical for, we've seen deficiencies in spina bifida. It's critical for the formation of B12. The most violent criminals in Chicago, they've done hair samples and they found a constant trend of cobalt deficiencies in their hair analysis, showing that these have much more of a meaningful value to the quality of our life than just a mineral. When they're actually part of a B12 vitamin complex, they're there to assist us in absorbing many other minerals that we wouldn't see if we didn't have that cobalt in our diet. Copper, 56%. Iron, 32%. Lithium is 1%. Lithium, when we look at diabetes or cancers or any other mineral deficiencies and the symptoms associated with it, we have to look at our mental health and look at that as, are we deficient? Is that why we're seeing issues such as depression or schizophrenia or manic, lithium has 8 different chemical activities, anything from hyperthyroid to depression to schizophrenia to a lot of the mental health conditions are lithium deficiencies. Manganese, 24%, molybdenum 1%. We lose molybdenum when we're exposed to oxidized sulfur. We lose it in alarming rates. Molybdenum you find mainly in the liver It's critical that we have a higher molybdenum level in our liver for the formation of amino acids. Without molybdenum in our liver, when we bring in chromium or vanadium into our diet, it has to go through an amino acid bonding in the liver before that mineral is sent out to in the bloodstream to attract sugars. So even if you have an abundant amount of chrome, you still might have a high blood sugar level because your liver function isn't properly functioning. Selenium, 7%. Selenium is critical for reproductive health. It's critical for most of the activities involved with selenium are anti-tumor, anti-AIDS effects. When I look at selenium, I see it as God uses selenium to protect DNA and protect life. You find selenium levels higher in most nuts and seeds than you will find any other part of the plant. Even in human reproductive levels, you'll find selenium in the prostate and sperm counts. It's one of the highest minerals in the reproductive cycle. Vanadium, once again, it's a blood sugar reducer. It also will help remove plaque. Most of your plaques are sugars. If you address the sugars in the bloodstream and you pull it out, you should see a minimum level of plaque because of that chemical activity. And zinc, we can't say enough about zinc. You find it in all the cells of your body. Deficiencies in zinc will cause depression, stinky feet, acne, a weakened immune system. Zinc is so critical. You'll find this information on our Facebook page at Naturally Noble. You'll also find a link to the Dr. James Duke, this PDF file that we compiled on our Heaven's Hope nutritional products page. We have a blog there, Tips from the Garden. You'll just see one entry with that database list. Just click on it and it'll come right up. We believe that God created these plants to deliver these minerals, and these are the strength of the earth that's discussed in Genesis. And that strength of the earth is designed to be our foods and to prevent symptoms and to see a quality of life that God created us for. When we say, we have all of these illnesses and sicknesses and diseases in our world today, the first thing we need to look at is not blame God. We need to look at how do we achieve a higher quality of food that God intended us to have. A capitalistic society will not give us that. We buy foods at a market that are grown in the cheapest form possible because profitability is at a minimum, even at the levels that we're seeing in the market today. The competition in the capitalistic food market is at the cost of our health. To turn that around, what we need to do is bring higher levels of minerals to our plate. You're not going to find that in a capitalistic society. I strongly encourage that you grow your own gardens. By growing your own gardens and ensuring that these minerals are on your plate will ensure that you have a more symptom-free life. When we take the time and ensure the quality of our food is at the highest level possible, you will see a quality of life that God intended for you to have. The values that we're seeing in our products are the same values that you can achieve in the foods that you can grow using these products.